with Brie Vega of Peak Performance. Really, we're going to do a group workout, just try and promote health in the community, movement. You know, I want people to try and view activity and movement and exercise as something that you get to do, not something that you have to do, and try and find a community or a movement or an exercise that you like to do, that you look forward to doing. And I think places like Peak Performance have made such a positive environment that it makes it fun to come and work out with people, where you're not judged. You can wear silly clothing and still get your workouts in. What got you to open Peak, and what are you looking for out of it?
An ex-collegiate athlete, played basketball, so fitness has always been in my life. Did some personal training and figured out that San Angelo needs a gym that's more of a community base. And that's what we created here. So we have some functional classes, we have a sauna and a cold plunge, just anything that if a regular person wants to come in, they can, or even an elite athlete.
And so, like, moving your body is a privilege. It's nice to come in and be disciplined, and to where you're sweaty, you're out of breath, and you get to move your body, and you get to see the results of you improving. You're in a positive community, people around you, so it helps you want to come and do it again and again, so it's not just one and you burn out. And so what has worked for y'all to keep people coming back and feel welcomed in this community?
We've only been open 6 months, but the people that we have, I mean, they've been coming in every day. The biggest thing is that we try to know your name. We try to know what you do and where you're at all the time, so you can just come back in here. At Peak, we do some group fitness classes. We have functional fitness. We also have high rocks, and then we do a strength and lower body and upper body day. And those are for everybody. So all of those classes are going to be modified to what you're at. If you're a beginner, you can come in. If you're an elite athlete, you can come in as well. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show everybody, you know, that even if you're coming in with very little fitness or to the top, that you can still come and work out and enjoy the community.
I'm Tiffany, for those who don't know me. I'm a nurse practitioner at Live Oak Testosterone and Weight Loss. And so I just wanted to give kind of a little blurb about specifically testosterone in women, right? So what do you think about when you think about testosterone? Men. Perfect. Anything else? Hormones. Bigger? What? Is that what you said? Bigger? Hormones? Yeah. Testosterone is also super important for women as well, right? So if you were to take all of our hormones in our body, give them all the same unit of measurement, we would actually have more testosterone than any other hormone in our body, okay? Even women, right? With that being said, we obviously require a lot smaller dose than men do, okay? Testosterone is produced by the ovaries and the adrenal glands, okay? It peaks in our 20s, right, of course, peaks in our 20s, then steadily declines with time. By the time we hit menopause, it's near nothing levels, okay? Signs of low testosterone could look like mental, fog, trouble concentrating, low libido, just not really being able to get as much out of your workouts as you were previously. That may be the time to go, okay, you know what, maybe I should have this checked. And let me say this too, testosterone works really well with all of the other hormones too. Like I said before, I'm focusing on testosterone just because we're kind of in a workout type setting, and that's a lot of times where you're gonna notice more deficits of testosterone. But all of the other hormones, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, are extremely important as well, okay? Getting your levels checked, we typically do a blood draw, kind of look at everything, go over, where we could potentially optimize things. But testosterone in women could be, replacing using injections or cream, okay? That's our preferred method. We're not necessarily anti-pellets, but a lot of times with pellets, it's an invasive procedure, you get them in, testosterone shoots up super high. Not always, but sometimes, you experience some of those side effects with a super high testosterone level, and then it kind of crashes after a period of time, and then you just have to wait it out until it's time to get the pellets again. So when using injections or creams, we're able to get a little bit more stable levels over time, and we can adjust a lot more readily, right? So a cream, we use clicks as the way we talk about using a cream. It's applied to the upper inner thigh. and we'll say, hey, try 1 click or try 2 clicks. I mean, it's as easy adjusting it as that, like a deodorant stick kind of. Injections are kind of the same. We talk about using units for injections. And so those are also, easily changed if need be. But, testosterone is important for energy, for mood, for, like I said, libido. It can help with muscle and muscle building. It can help with muscle recovery. And so if you've ever been in the gym, you're working out, your diet's on key, you're doing absolutely everything you know to, but you're just not getting the reward for what you're putting in, that may be a time to say, okay, do I need testosterone replacement? Would that benefit me? Would it help me? Potential side effects from testosterone are gonna be like more oily skin, acne, especially if you're prone to acne. I will say, in women, it kind of varies from what I've seen in practice. Generally, it's gonna be chest and back, but occasionally, if you had acne as a teen or a young adult, it may be around the face too. Usually in the lower doses, we don't see it as significantly, but again, it's a potential. And there are things we can do to mitigate that as well. We talk about topical, treatments. We talk about lowering dose. Sometimes it takes an oral treatment to just kind of help block some of those androgens floating around to help decrease that acne. Same with abnormal hair growth. And of course, it's not gonna be where you want it. It's not gonna be extra hair on your head, right? It's gonna be a little bit maybe more on your legs, maybe some fine hair on your face. You're not gonna grow a beard, nothing to be super concerned about. But again, you might notice some of those subtle changes. Voice deepening is a potential, again, typically in higher doses, like if you're looking into bodybuilding or something and want those really high doses, then that may be a potential side effect. But again, there are things we can do to mitigate those potentials. And I will say, it's been said that more women don't start testosterone replacement therapy because they're scared of the side effects than women who stop because of the side effects, if that makes sense. Very well tolerated. Typically you feel a whole lot better. Like I said, you're able to maybe get in some extra reps, maybe lift a little bit heavier, run a little longer, run a little bit faster. Those are some of the benefits of replacing testosterone. Are there any questions? Mason's not allowed to ask questions. We talked about this in the office earlier. So DHEA is a building block hormone, right? To all of your other hormones, but particularly testosterone. So it kind of functions as a mild testosterone too. It is an over-the-counter supplement in the US, Europe, and everywhere else because it is considered a hormone. It's a prescription, but in the US it is over-the-counter. And so our body needs that DHEA in order to build all of the other hormones. But for instance, say someone has really severe acne already and they're kind of hesitant to start testosterone like straight off the bat. That may be somewhere we can utilize DHEA. Again, because it acts like a mild testosterone, it can have some of the similar side effects. So it could worsen the acne, but it's something that you could trial. But again, it can help with the mental clarity. It can help with energy, motivation, the drive, a little bit of libido as well. So that's DHEA. Yeah. Great question too. For what we do, we see levels and everybody's like, oh, they're normal. You go and see your PCP, your OBGYN, and you're like, something's wrong. I don't feel right. Like, can you check my hormones and tell me what's going on? Oh, everything's normal. And you're like, but I don't feel normal. So it's kind of similar. Like we can see those normal ranges. If you look on our labs, typically it's gonna be between like 8 and 50, okay? However, we're looking into optimizing things. Normal does not equal optimal, right? For every woman, it's going to be different. And without going too in depth, there is another part of the puzzle that we look at when we get labs called a sex hormone binding globulin, mouthful. That grabs onto your testosterone and binds it up. What's left over is your free testosterone. And that's what's available for you to use, what makes you feel good, gives you all the energy, drive, and motivation, okay? That free testosterone, we found that typically women feel best when that's between like a 2 and a 7, somewhere in that range, right? So for you per se, your sex hormone binding globulin may be 30, okay? And your total testosterone is 50, right? So then you look at me, my total testosterone is 50, but my sex hormone binding globulin is 80, right? You're gonna have more free testosterone than I'm going to have. So I may need a higher total testosterone to get where I need to be, where I'm feeling better than you would. I would venture to say most women probably feel good somewhere, for simplicity, in the 200 to 300 range, somewhere in there, on average.
I have started lifting weights because my son told me I had to do that.
He's bossy.
And he played the whole, in 10 years,
Yeah.
how you want to interact with your grandkids.
Yeah.
What are the things that you want to do?
Yeah.
But there are some things that have become a priority to me, and that's like my mental clarity and being able to remember things and strive to have, a better brain, functioning brain. And I've seen so much, on Instagram or wherever, that lifting weights has, like, there's like a connection there.
Mhm.
I'm asking, is that like a legit thing that they're
Absolutely. I think that working out in general, and particularly lifting weights, one is going to help with bone health, right? It's going to make your bones stronger, especially when you go into menopause or perimenopausal and your hormones are declining. Bone health seems to fall with that too. So that's another place testosterone can be helpful. But also, you've kind of got to do your part in lifting the weights and lifting, strength training. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy and heavy. It can be resistance bands. It can be wherever you're at for that point in time. But in general, it's going to help with that mental clarity, that stress, that brain fog already, just the exercising part of it. I mean, for most of us, I'm sure we do it as a stress relief too. Yes, we feel significantly better after we do it. We're more motivated to do it again because of how good we feel after, or we want to do better for our kids. And working out, healthy diet, healthy lifestyle combined with hormone optimization is really what we aim for quality of life. On average, like what we like to do is we like to follow up in 8 weeks, but typically we'll say you're probably gonna start feeling some benefit within 4 to 6 weeks, right? Now, again, it's not one size fits all. We may start with the same dose or a similar dose for nearly everybody, but that dose may need to be increased for one person. It may need to be decreased for another person. So that's why we're really adamant about the follow-ups to check in. And again, we're not just chasing a lab number. We want to know how you're feeling. Because like I told Brie, if our free is between 2 and a 7, but you come in and you're on testosterone and yours is a 1.5 and you're like, I feel amazing. I am doing so well, like everything's great. We're not gonna change a thing because it's more important that you feel good than the number matches what I think it should. So, but usually on average, probably by 4 to 6 weeks, I usually tell our women to give me at least 3 to 6 months to get you really dialed into where you need to be. We get asked this question a lot. Is it lifelong, right? So it's yes and no. Naturally, our testosterone is going to decrease as we age, right? We're taking it because we want to feel better. We want to, see improvements in what we're doing. Could you take it forever? Absolutely. Do some people take it forever? Absolutely. Do you have to? No. If you stop taking it, your levels are just going to go back to what they were before. It's not like it's shutting down your natural production, which, by the way, birth control can do that, if you guys didn't know already, but birth control can kind of shut down all of that. But you could kind of just get a feel for it. If you stop it, just go back to where you were before.
Most of the peptides are going to be like growth hormone secretagogues that most people talk about, like the sermorelin, testosterone. There's tons of different peptides. So, there's hundreds, but the main ones that are like circulating on social media, sermorelin, testosterone, are growth hormone secretagogues. BPC 157 is another one that kind of is in that same, has some growth hormone, but it's also a recovery. Then there's other peptides that we use that are even some for sexual health. Insulin is a peptide. It's been around for a long time. So, the weight loss meds, semaglutide, tirzepatide, those are peptides. So long story short, there's a ton of different peptides. It depends on which one specifically, whereas testosterone and everything is a hormone. Depends on the amino acid structure.
I see what you're saying. Like, you don't necessarily want to commit to a lifelong of testosterone, maybe, but peptides could help kind of tie the...
And you can do the peptides for shorter courses, and peptides are typically more expensive, and you need consistency with it, and you typically need a pretty good regimen with them to get a lot of the benefits. They do help right out the gate with muscle recovery and sleep, but you sleep really good on them. But in terms of like body composition changes, you got to be consistent with your routine and do it continuously to get a lot of the benefits out of it.
I think it just kind of depends on what your thoughts are. You know what I mean? What you want to commit to or don't want to. But we do. Are you? Are you? Yeah. We like peptides too. We love peptides. So yeah.
Time to work out.
Yeah. Ready? We're already sweating, so might as well.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.